What's up, you guys? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media, about Blu-rays and 4Ks and the way we like to own our movies and TV shows and documentaries and concert videos and whatever. Physical stuff. Owning our movies. That kind of thing. I got a pretty sizable haul for you here. It's not an extensive number of discs. There's a lot. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 discs here, but it's a lot of money. So what happened was I was out with my girlfriend and we were in Best Buy doing some other things. And, we found some stuff. So monies were spent. So I have a lot of things to show you here. If you haven't subscribed already and you like talking about physical media, about Blu-rays and 4Ks and all that stuff, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you stay up to date on what we're doing here. And, if you feel like you like something, there's some information here you'd like to share, the share button is also always appreciated. So let's get into the physical media pickups. I want to actually start with something that I know nothing about. I have nothing to say to you guys about this one. I'm hoping you have some things to say to me. This is another one of those situations where we're looking in the steelbooks, and I know I've said this before, not a steelbook collector, but I think my girlfriend is making us steelbook collectors, right? So she just liked this artwork, and I remember her saying she really liked the cast in this movie. But that's it. That's all that I know about this, and it is a movie called The Wind Rises. This is a Shout Select title. The artwork on the back, the steelbook in general is not the best, but she just liked this art, and she liked the cast. So she wanted to pick it up. So we got it, and I'm annoyed because I see right there at the bottom, I don't if you can see, you can't really see, but there's a dent, a little tiny dent. Anyway, on the inside, we get the Blu-ray and the DVD, but also what I was unanticipating, these are open already because I recorded this video once. I'm not going to lie to you. Just a technical issue got in the way, so I'm doing it again. There's a little booklet with some write-ups and some stills from the movie. It's a very, minuscule thing, but pretty cool since it was completely unanticipated. There's a little bit of artwork here behind the discs. It's very low quality, though. You can barely see it. So, if you've seen this movie, hit me up. Let me know what you thought. Because, what am I getting into? Because I literally know nothing about this anime, other than my girlfriend liked the artwork on the front. So we have it. Alright, so here's the big one, and I'm going to talk about this for just a second longer than normal because I've already watched it, and it is John Carpenter's The Thing on 4K. There's the front. There's the back. This is available to buy, I believe, today at Best Buy, and I think there's even a Best Buy exclusive steelbook. I got this from Groove, Gruv. I think it's groove.com. That is Universal Pictures physical media outlet, and highly recommended. It doesn't have an extensive collection. It is a revolving, ever-changing small collection that they sell of stuff. But often the prices are very good. And based off this, the turnaround is fast. So this was announced on Groove for $17.99, which was at that time the cheapest pre-order for this movie you could get. And I told my friend Zach about it, my director of photography for my film projects, and he immediately ordered because this is literally, I think, maybe his favorite movie or close to it. I meant to and then just forgot. Okay? So then I started to see notifications. It's coming. It's going to be out next week. So last week I thought, shoot, let me go and just order it because I meant to have it coming in. So it was up to $19.99, but the first time you order from Groove, you get a 25% discount. So still got a very good price on this, and ordered it, and it came last week. So I got it early. He hasn't gotten his yet. I think he'll get his today or tomorrow. So there it is, and I've already watched it. I wish I could tell you about the extras. Don't know the extras yet. Here's the inside. But I have watched the movie. I meant to see. I doubt it, but no, we don't get any reversible artwork. There is the Blu-ray and the 4K. That Blu-ray's the same Blu-ray from 2007. So I'm assuming all the extras are the same too. I have not heard that they did anything new extra-wise. And I honestly don't remember if there's any extras on the 4K. We may have to go to the Blu-ray to look at the extras, which is fine. It's okay. So as far as the quality on the 4K, upon immediately starting this film, you can see the resolution difference just pops. And also colors are beautiful. The HDR in this are very, very pretty. The palette is adjusted to me. It's a little more natural. Zach and I were discussing this. He had read, someone said that it felt cooler to him. To me, it didn't feel cooler, but it was a little bit more toned down, you know. The color is adjusted in favor of skin tones, I think. Because the skin tones are great. People's faces look normal. Which is important, But the specular highlights are great. There's pops of red in there, obviously, for, you know, when there's blood and that kind of thing. And the reflection of light off of objects and off people's faces is beautiful. Grain structure is pretty good. I'm trying to think about what else maybe that stood out to me. Here's the thing, is my overall feeling about the visual is it's substantial in its upgrade from the Blu-ray. Right away, the colors are better, resolution is better, but it's not a disc you're gonna pop in to demo your system and to show off your TV or your projector or whatever. It's a good solid 4K. It's a nice upgrade, but it's not like, you know, it's kind of like the Back to the Future releases, which were really, you know, good solid upgrades from the 4K, but they're not like that demo quality. I feel the same about the audio. The audio mix is nice, but I wish there was a lot more LFE, a lot more subwoofer use in specific spots. Good solid 4K. Happy to have it in my collection, though. There you go. So, since I was getting that discount for the first time, I went ahead and bought something else. And that is, I finally got the Ghost in the Shell 4K. No, I didn't get the Steelbook. I don't care. I didn't get a slip. Kind of wish I'd gotten a slip if they'd had one. I don't know if they ever had one. But, and there's your discs, your 4K and your Blu-ray. No artwork, really. I don't know if there's any reversible art. No reversible art here. This is just a basic release other than the 4K. I want to talk about this for a minute, though. I haven't watched this yet. I just opened it today. But I have looked at some other critics reviewing the 4K release. And there's some mistakes going on. First thing, let me talk about a pet peeve for just a second. It's not reviewer, okay? If you're being critical, if you're thinking critically and you're critically reviewing something, you're a critic. You're not a reviewer. A reviewer just, to me, that makes that word makes no sense to me. I'm not a reviewer. You're a critic, and you know, there's no special school you go to become a film critic. You know, having some film history or some actual filmmaking knowledge really helps as far as being able to interpret a lot of things and talk technically about films. But, I mean, you look at a guy like Quentin Tarantino, to my knowledge, he didn't actually take classes. He's just super knowledgeable, and he's done it himself. You know, he could be a film critic of any film, and I would be fine with hearing what he had to say. So it's just a pet peeve of mine. I hear you guys saying I'm a reviewer. You're not a reviewer. You're a freaking critic, okay? That's the word. Reviewers, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. So anyway, speaking of reviewing something, though, there were a lot of complaints in this 4K when it came out about the softness of different scenes in the movie. It's important when you're going to review something, if there's a sequence that stands out to you as you know, wrong, and you have access to the Blu-ray, it's important for you to go back and take a look at that Blu-ray. Because the sequences people talk about here have always been in the film. They are part of the source material, and they were done on purpose by the filmmaker. He was going for this sort of surreal, dreamlike state. I used to make a joke that those sequences were the glamour shots sequences. If you know what glamour shots is. Glamour shots, I don't think they even still exist, but it used to be a thing where you could get photography done where they'd soften the image to make everyone, you know, whoever's in it, make their skin look smoother and make them look younger. But yeah, that's in the film on purpose. That is not a problem with the 4K release. Okay, that is the style of the film, the way it was made. So it's important, if you're going to try and be a voice to speak to people about quality of releases, that you take a look at that stuff. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, so I can't tell you whether it's good or not. People who know this movie and know the source material, that I have read their articles, they say it's a good 4K. It's a good representation. So I'm excited to see it. I got a great deal on it. Got the discount. Boy, I feel like I'm in a grumpy mood today, right? I just finished my coffee, so I'm on a little bit of a caffeine high. All right, so I got 2 other pickups here that I didn't plan to get. You ever have these movies on your list? It's like they're in your radar. You're going to get them at some point, but you don't need to get them, to the point where you pre-order or whatever. You just figure you'll get them on a sale, which is what I figured. I would get them on a sale because they're Shout Factory releases. I'm on a Shout Factory roll today because the anime was a Shout Select release. But these are 2 movies that I actually really like. I just figured I would get on a sale because with Scream Factory, we've talked about the Scream Factory slips before. I know there's a lot of collectors out there that love the Scream Factory slip covers. I have a small collection of them myself, but mostly it's because I got the movie and it had it, not because I was seeking to acquire with the slip, because I feel like Shout Factory slips are just okay. Sometimes the artwork can be really good, but they're cheap slips. They're just cheap old cardboard slips, the same as you get from any other basic studio. And they charge you like they're premium, though. You get charged Arrow Video prices. But anyway, these were 2 movies I wanted, and it was really cool to see them on the shelf at a Best Buy. And that's another thing for me is I love brick and mortar. I love to be able to buy stuff in person. So I feel like when I buy these things, I'm kind of showing my support with my money, which is important. I think you should do it as well. So I was like, hey, there's some Shout and some Scream Factory on the shelf. Let me buy these and go ahead and add them to my collection. The first one is Explorers. You see there, it is a Shout Select title. And this is a fine slip. It's good enough. So this movie stars a very young Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix as 2 kids with their friends that find a way to build a homebrew spaceship and go to space. That's fun. I used to love this kind of stuff when I was a kid. Kids, doing things beyond their age. This and like Toy Soldiers. They were the badass heroes of the day in that movie. So this is a very fun movie. There's a sequence at the end that I'm not going to talk about too much. I don't want to spoil it, even though it's an old movie. But I figure you guys will get around to it. The sequence goes too long. But outside of it's still really fun. I've already flipped the artwork here to the classic art. That is neat sort of artwork that's teasery. Everything now has to be so in your face. I love the teaser aspect to this. Like, what's going to happen? You can see the back. The back is essentially the same, just different color. On the inside, we get something that's scary. We get the regular cut there, Blu-ray, and the director's cut. And what I mean by scary is there's a part of this movie that's already too long, and now we have a director's cut. So, curious if it's going to be even longer. So, good movie. Let me know if you've seen that in the comments. And then I also picked up the 1976 King Kong. And I have a soft spot in my heart for this movie because I remember as a kid this popping up on cable over and over again. And I watched this, and I just love the cast. It has Kurt Russell and Diane Lane. This may be one of her first movies. So yeah, just from nostalgia, I just really appreciate this film, having seen it so many times as a little kid on repeat on HBO in the 80s. So I'm very curious now, though, all these years later, if it's going to hold up. Have you picked this up? Do you know? Let me know in the comments what you thought. So taking it out, I didn't flip the artwork here. I'll flip the artwork later. On the inside, we have we have a couple of Blu-rays here. What do we have? I don't even know, you guys. This is theatrical cut and a director's cut right there. Very cool. Very cool. Like I said, I wasn't prepared to talk about these because I wasn't prepared to buy them. But they were there, and I was, just like I said, I wanted these anyway. I figured I would pick them up on a Shout Factory sale down the line because they weren't going to go out of print, but the slips would have. But like I said, on the slips. Here's the original artwork there. Pretty cool. So let's just drop it in here as best we can. Let's see if I can do this without taking 30 minutes. All right. Yeah, I mean, actually, and this is one of those instances with Shout Factory where I kind of like the new artwork. Maybe a little better than this original. But the original has its place. A lot of times with the original artwork, I just love having it because it reminds me of seeing it on DVD or maybe even late era VHS. This one doesn't stand out to me, but it is always cool to have multiple artworks to choose from, when you're going to play a movie. So yeah, this is exciting. This is very cool. I was excited to get this. So hopefully there's good extras on here that I can dig into. All right, here's the last release. I know I'm dragging you guys. This is a big one, very much unintended. But I haven't seen these in a while. I figured they were out of print. I still think they might be, but there was just a random one in Best Buy, so I just grabbed it. And that is the Rambo Steelbook Collection, all 5 films. I had a few of these films on 4K already. When I got this home, I immediately dropped those on eBay, and they're already flipped. They're going to ship today. I love these boxes. I wish we would get more collections like this. I have the Batman, the original 80s era Batman collection, and I have the Avengers collection in these boxes. We should have gotten an Indiana Jones collection in one of these boxes, and it's so annoying that we did not. So, one thing I'll admit right now is the last Rambo movie, I hate it. It's bad. But from a story completionist, and I don't mean the story of Rambo, I mean the story of making these movies, I'm happy to have it for the extras. I'm hoping there's at least a couple of good interviews in there or something where we can hear Stallone talk about completing the story arc and the journey of John J. Rambo. So here's the classic shot of Rambo. Here's Old Man Rambo. The top we just have the collection there. Nothing on the bottom. And then on the back we have Young Rambo. It's a very cool box. I love these boxes. So let's get into it real quick. All right. So as I said, I've already done this once. So I can tell you right now, this is my favorite of the artworks on the Steelbook. It's very subtle, but I just dig it. It really is representative of the film, this particular film. And there's the, here you go, guys. We have an extended cut and a standard cut. And we also got a little replicated note, which I'll read later, from the man himself. And then there's a digital code to the extended cut, and then there's another digital code to the whole box set. So that is First Blood. And First Blood, we're talking about movies that get lost in political commentary. We've talked about that many times here. First Blood is a great example of a combo of grindhouse filmmaking. And that is from the 70s, grindhouse style filmmaking. It's a really gritty kind of action movie. But it also has a lot to say about how Vietnam vets were treated when they came home. So it actually is one of those films that strikes a good balance. So here's Rambo Part 2. And I don't know if you're noticing a theme here, but it's something that I really like, and they can actually do very easily because these aren't released individually in these steelbooks anyway, that I'm aware of, is to not put the name of the movie on the box. I love that. Let's just give us the artwork. The names are on the spines, all right? And there's the movies for you. Oh, I didn't do this with the first one, but let's see. There's a little bit of artwork here behind the disc. Oh, and of course I'm still bumping the microphone. I get the mic off the table. This is kind of hard to see, but there it is. Not that good. I don't know if it's worth I'm not gonna pull the discs out of these unless I happen to catch my eye, something catches my eye in the background, because that looks pretty meh to me. All right, so that's Rambo Part 2. Here is Part 3. I like this one better than that previous one. This is the iconic shot right there from that movie. Right? And then again on the inside, we get the 2 discs. Looks like a shot of the knife behind the discs there. It's okay. It's okay. It's kind of dark and low res to me, so I'm not worried too much about that. All right, and here we have Rambo. This is good art too. The other one, Rambo Part 2, was a little too cartoony, but maybe that actually speaks to that movie because it was pretty cartoony in and of itself. This one got back to the heart of what the character is and the kind of storytelling that First Blood did. It's basic. It's basic and visceral, and it works. This is the second best movie in the franchise, right behind First Blood. Your 2 discs there. Okay, last one, you guys. Last one. All right, and this is Last Blood. This is a pretty good shot here. I kind of like it. That shot on this case is probably better than the movie. This Home Alone Rambo movie that's happening here. This movie, I just talking about it, this movie, like what First Blood does so well, blending its commentary with storytelling. The commentary takes a back seat to the movie, but it's there under the surface if you're just paying attention. This one gets lost in its commentary. You know, and whether I agree with your commentary or not, I do appreciate it when a movie is infused with that because it really does sort of ground the story. This one's kind of a mess that way. It's kind of a mess. And also, there's way too much CGI blood that doesn't look good in this movie. So, can't wait to dig into the extras on it. See if it makes me appreciate the movie better. Sometimes it can happen. All right, guys, that is it. That's my pickups. Again, like I said, as far as quantity of pickups, not the hugest, but these are really premium releases that I'm really excited are in my collection. There you go. So there they are. So that'll bring us to an end. Till next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with your friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films and TV. We are getting so close to 31 days of Halloween. I'm so excited, you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.